Hey, Coach Abel here, along with Coach Weiss of the Able Body Experts. Another Coach 'em Up for you. And whenever I have this book out, Coach, beware. This is my ranting notes. So this is
a lot of ranting in there.
That's a lot of ranting, and this is usually based on my interaction with people. So we call this one, and I wrote it down so we don't get off track. But we call this one the Fear Of Fataphobia paradox. Mm-hmm. And basically what it is that diet mentality that I talk about all the time, which is a disservice to this industry. You're told to deprive yourself of a certain macronutrient group, and because of that you become fearful of that macronutrient group, whatever it might be.
And it's happened basically to all of them.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You can find somebody that'll vilify
anything.
Any macronutrient.
Dairy, meat, grains, fats, and carbs.
Yeah.
They've
even
all
protein.
been attacked.
Even protein. Well, meat, yeah. But so there's always somebody that'll tell you to eliminate.
And so when you do, and you create that fear of fat paradox, what happens is the food you're told you can only eat becomes less and less appealing. Part of hunger is your emotional connection to yourself. So you try to fill that gap with more of the foods you're quote-unquote allowed, right? And that still doesn't fill that appeal, the emotional appeal of food that everyone needs with their diet. So you're thinking you become more satisfied by eating more because you're allowed, say, all the green beans you can eat. Oh, that's appealing. I want that on my pizza. And in the end, instead of helping you to lose weight, you keep adding and adding the allowable foods because you're so afraid of the foods you can't have that your obsession with that ends up squashing your weight loss efforts over time. Everyone has that honeymoon period at first where the new diet is the best thing they've ever done. Yeah. You know, the old diet is old and lousy and the new diet's new and improved. All right? And then the diet mentality that causes you to actually gain weight because you start increasing the allowable foods in portion size, first pretending that you don't notice, and then just because you're that unfulfilled with what you're eating, literally. And then in the end, you abandon it altogether to eat the foods you've been told to deny. So what we call the Fear Of Fataphobia paradox is that following the diet mentality of outlawing certain foods actually over time leads you to gaining weight. Coach?
Yeah, and that's the thing when people are first trying to, if they have metabolic issues and stuff like that and are literally not eating very often, and yes, they may have to increase the foods that they're eating, but that really has nothing to do with what they've taken away, like what they vilified, right? You're just trying to get people actually eating.
It has nothing to do with being afraid of certain foods.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point we're getting at, the Fear Of Fataphobia paradox.
And so when people are allowed to eat, or supposedly allowed to eat unlimited amounts of limited foods,
right?
Well, yeah, there's only going to be a certain amount of that food that you're going to tolerate because your body, you're not getting complete nutrition. Your body is going to craves nutrition more than it craves calories. That's what I always say. Now, whether that's actually scientifically correct or not, I doubt it. But if you're undernourished, you can have calories till they come out your ears, and you're going to still crave.
You're going to keep eating. Well, you're going to crave anyway. That's a psychological thing we can get to. But you brought up another point, and we're running out of time, so I don't want to... But you brought up another point. One of the Western paradoxes of the diet mentality is the concept of more. So we abandon, we're told people, fear this food and don't eat that, but you can eat more and more of this. Yeah. Green beans or lettuce or cabbage, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it's that more mentality, the diet mentality, that appeals to the brain set, whereas the European mentality, or people that are used to a more austere approach to calorie consumption, is eat what you want, but learn to eat less of everything.
Yeah, and you don't. Yeah, and you naturally just eat less of everything because you just become more satisfied easily, more easily.
And you read your biofeedback appropriately.
Like if you're getting I hate to say getting a balanced nutrition profile, because what does that even mean? But when you're getting what your body is looking for, instead of, okay, you can eat meat and you can eat as many vegetables as you want, so you eat 18 pounds of vegetables a day. Well, that's not going to...
There's diets like that.
Yeah, there is. I've seen them, and you're not going to be happy doing that, right?
No.
So, and you're still going to want cookies, so it's all good.
And the bottom line of that is the fear of fataphobia paradox, say that 5 times fast, is that biofeedback will always determine your body's preferences if you can actually focus less on appearance and more on experience. The bodily experience will never lie.
No.
But when you're focused on appearance, you tend to distort what the body's actually trying to tell you.
Yeah, especially if that appearance that you're trying to get to is completely unrealistic, which it usually is.
Another fact we better get to. This has been a Coach 'em Up.